All right, today I've got a bit of a funny analogy for you, but I think it might hit home. So exercise is a little bit like spilling coffee on the floor. I can guarantee, almost guarantee, you've never ever heard that one before. And the reason I say that is if you just spill the coffee on the floor, which I do from time to time, you'll hopefully always go and clean it up. And when you go clean that coffee off the floor, there's a good chance the floor is cleaner than it was before you spilled the coffee. And that's exactly how exercise works on the body. So when we are inactive, let's say before we head off to a class or we're just going through our day, there's low levels of inflammation and damage in the cells and all things that are completely normal that happen just as a part of fusing energy and living our lives. And as we age, these happen more and more. So these processes are going on in the background without us even realizing. And when we exercise or we're physically active, we actually do more damage. So we increase inflammation, we damage some of the muscle tissues, we could do some minor damage to bones and structures like that. So you must think, well, what are we exercising for? But what it does is it kicks in this restoration. So I call it the damage and restoration cycle. So we're causing more damage, knowing that the body's systems will kick into gear once we've finished our physical activity and actually leave us in a better state than when we started. A little bit like cleaning that coffee off the ground. It is cleaner than when it started. Our body is healthier than when we started. So it kickstarts an anti-inflammatory response, antioxidants, it strengthens our bones, strengthens our muscles. And EPOC, which you might have heard, is the process of continuing to burn calories after you've exercised. And that is because of what's going on, because of this restoration process. So something to think about. Exercise, not just about beach muscles and looking good with shirt off, but really, really important process. And they call it the grandparent hypothesis. So the grandparent hypothesis basically looks back at anthropology, which we do a lot when we look at health in the human body to see what we can learn. And what that teaches us is that older generations continued to be active right up until death. It wasn't a retirement. We put the feet up by the pool and get the golf cart out. You continue to be active. Your role in the family or the community may change, but it still involves physical activity every day, which then is the natural damage and restoration cycle. It would be happening every day without realizing it. But in our modern society, we can stop that exercise and physical activity very young from the demands of life. Not blaming anyone, but that's the society we live in with the pressures of work and parenthood and whatnot. So if we're stopping that very early on, 30, 40 years old, we then risk living with, I guess, constant levels of inflammation in the body. This can be made worse by things like sugar, stress, fatty foods. And if we're not doing anything to try and remove or reduce those levels of inflammation in the body, that's when we risk getting sick. So we're putting a lot of pressure and stress on the immune system, and it can lead to quite a few diseases. So another big reason why it's important to be physically active every single day, every week, so we can kickstart that process of repair and healing. All right, I'll let you go and get active. That's the grandparent hypothesis, and why exercise and physical movement is just like spilling coffee and cleaning it up off the ground. Thanks, guys. Speak to you soon.